what are you doing right now?
The big V. Look, man.
All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit.
I made my wife wake up and drive me there anyway.
You...
¿Es a major?
Pasar con eso. Pasar con español.
¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. I'm going full Mr. Rogers. You've tuned into the Man Chatter podcast. Is it live? Is it
We are live.
Well, real quick, I don't appreciate that they show you first. I just wanna throw that immediately out there. It goes right to left. That doesn't make sense. That's not how we read here. Okay, left to right.
Should I mute this already from the beginning? No one wants to hear that. From the
really fucked up because we've had too many podcasts where somebody's just mouthing words and there's no audio to it. So let's not even play with that.
You're right.
Listen, man. This is episode 101. The new intro is out. I put it all over my social media, but I feel like I should play it again, just because I've been dancing to this shit nonstop. Let me pull it up here. I should have had this ready to go, but you know, in a moment's notice, shit sometimes happens. Now listen, shout out to my boy Ant for making this shit happen. Yo, what are you doing right now?
The big V.
Yeah. Look, man. All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit.
I made my wife wake up and drive me there anyway. ¿Es a major?
Pasar con eso. Pasar con español.
¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go.
Don't hate on the sweater.
I'm going full Mr. Rogers. I have to bring in the sweater. You've tuned into the Man Chatter podcast. I 100% had to talk about your sweater, bro. I don't know what's just making sure we're good because on my end it says that we're offline, bro. So I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think we're good, or at least I'm
all right, cool. All right. Let's fucking roll with it, bro. Roll with the motherfucking punches, man. Roll with them like Tyson Fury. Now, listen, I was gonna go off on like not go off, but like tell you about my day and all that shit. But I'm more interested to know. Well, listen, I care about my day, really. And the seven people who listen to this podcast care about my day. So I'm just gonna roll with that. This is being okay. But I want to know what the fuck happened on Friday because you were drinking and you had an argument about the coronavirus. What happened, bro? And real quick, don't do that intense shit when you're like look right into the camera because it's fucking weird. You fucking Stephen King looking motherfucker. Look like you're about to come through the fucking screen. All right, man. What happened, bro?
So look, man, I didn't get into any argument, right? This is our usual Friday night thing that we do, or every other Friday. They have flights and bites. So they do beer tasting, wine tasting. They rotate it or they alternate it. Mm-hmm. And it was a wine tasting this week. We usually don't do the wine tasting because Mel is not a big fan of, like, she'll drink Moscato and that's about it. But
right,
we decided to go. And the previous week, per the usual, you know, they were engaging in a political conversation. And I just abstained from it. I'm like, I'm just here to have a beer and have some of this dessert or these chicken wings or whatever they're serving that night. And they started talking about the coronavirus this past Friday. I think the previous Friday they mentioned Venezuela, and I had to like just kind of keep it together. Yeah. So they're talking about the coronavirus, bro. They did the coronavirus and 401k, right? And I'm thinking like, oh man, I gotta say something. I gotta say something subtle or maybe not so subtle. But they start talking about coronavirus, and one guy's like, wow, they're doing everything to blame this on our president. I'm like, who is they and what are they doing to blame this on? I'm just thinking, like, what are they doing to blame this on our president? Mm-hmm. I know he's the one that's going out of his way to say that this is not that serious, right? You know, he assigned Mike Pence to be the czar, right? A guy who doesn't believe in science. A guy who doesn't believe in science, who doesn't have sex with anyone, especially his wife. But he's going to be the one that's gonna control the message for the coronavirus. That sounds that sounds great. That sounds like the right way to go. Go ahead.
He calls her mother, right? Like he calls his wife mother. You know that, right? Like his wife.
I heard about that, and I was just like, yeah, to each his own, I guess.
I mean, he's deep into that role playing. He's deep in character. I don't know.
God, dude, that is fucking awkward. All right, sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
No. So they mentioned the coronavirus, and they start talking about it. I'm like, so what happens if this thing comes to the U.S.? Oh, it's not. It's not coming. I'm like, we already have 50 plus cases here. I'm like, what happens if there's a breakout? It's like, how are we going to get treated? And so I didn't even let them answer the question. I was like, how are people going to get treatment? I said, I know how I'm getting treatment. I got free healthcare, so I got nothing to worry about. And they just kind of stared at me with this blank look, like, And then they just kept talking. I was like, okay, cool. I shut that conversation down. Let's keep talking. Let's keep eating. Yeah. They just kind of let it go and started talking about something else, or like kind of tried to shift the focus. And then they start going about the 401k and how's your 401k going? Like, man, I lost X amount of whatever. And so I remember when the housing bubble burst back in like 08, 09.
08, yep.
And I moved my TSP or 401k, same thing, essentially the same thing. I moved my funds because you can move your funds however you want. The G fund, the I fund, and then they have these new life cycle funds that are essentially like a mix of different types of funds, more conservative, depending on how you want to invest. So I put myself in the more conservative funds back in that time before it burst. And I'm sure like I as the market was kind of peaking, I didn't get the full, benefit of that run up. But when it dropped, I also was able to, I was able to mitigate that and I didn't lose as much. And so I did the same thing. I put myself a few months ago already. I moved it over to like the more conservative fund. Essentially almost like they call it the L income, which is just the most conservative types of investments that you can find. And it's not really, like right? Yeah, it's not really intended to generate any there's no, there's a risk, right? When you have money in the market, but it's the least risky fund that you can have, other than pulling your money out of the market completely. So they're talking about it. And I said, they say, how's your 401k look? I was like, nah, this is similar to what happened, 11 years ago when the housing bubble burst. I moved my funds over a while ago. It's like, oh, well, they started talking about the bear market and how it's, you're missing out. I was like, yeah, but in the political environment that we're in with the president spouting off and throwing his tweets the way he does, and then we have a coronavirus outbreak that's bound to affect the market. And you saw that we just dipped like 3,000 points in a week. I said, I'm not sure how you guys are doing, but when you have someone unstable or that's causing instability in the market like that, just by tweeting something, like it's not a smart move to have your money in any, risky investments or anything. It's not worth it, regardless of how bullish the market is. And they just looked at me like, okay. So that's two shots at the president, where I don't. To me, like, support the president all you want, but make common sense decisions about your health, your money, right? If you see that he's what he says directly impacts the markets, and it has, he'll say something, or he'll take policy, or he'll assign a certain individual like Mike Pence to kind of control this message, and then you see the market and the global markets react accordingly. So before the coronavirus, I said, no, I'm moving my money. But these guys are looking at me like just
hey, John,
blank staring their eyes.
Your screen's crazy, bro.
Whoa, who is that guy? Yeah, it is.
Your screen. Go hide that bitch real quick. I'll keep talking, man. While you figure out what the fuck is going on over there, bro. Yo, man, I don't like, dude. It's, and you know what I'm gonna say, because you always know what I'm saying with this shit. Like, it's strange to me, the dependence. I've never understood the dependence on the market. There we go. I see you again. The dependence on a market from one person, right? Like, I don't like, if we're told, oh, the market and the economy is so strong, how is it also so flimsy that it can drop from a virus that isn't that bad, right? That isn't that bad, or from a person who's tweeting. Like, I think the economy should be independent of who's in the office. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I don't know, dude. Like, it's just so strange to me. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't fully understand how the economy works in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where like it can't be like fucking touted like the greatest economy ever that we've ever had. But a little thing like the flu, right? Another thing that we've been hearing that it's like the flu could completely wipe it out and knock it down 3,000 points. Then this economy isn't so strong, right? Like then you're Deontay Wilder, right? And
yeah, or wobbly legs.
You know what I mean? You're walking around with we're on wobbly legs, man. Like how are those two things not clear to people? Like, and again, it's red or blue, Republican, Democrat. Like I don't understand. It's not about like I don't give a fuck. Like you know who I don't like and you know who I like. I've made that blatantly obvious. But if it was Bernie Sanders in there, I don't want his one thing that he says to be the wipeout of a 401k if you are more aggressive in the market. You know what I mean? More aggressive in the market, less aggressive in the market. Like I need to look at my 401k better and understand that. Figure out if I have the right life plan. And I want to be able to retire when I want to retire. That should be independent of whoever the fuck is in office. Like my life and my retirement should depend on somebody's tweet, bro. Like that's fucking terrifying. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, again, it's red or blue. I don't give a fuck. Orange, white, purple. I don't care. Like my retirement shouldn't be dependent on one person's gamble or of a stupid tweet or their lackadaisical way of looking at a possible pandemic, right? Because nobody on the left, not even Chris's crazy ass, our brother, basically, right? You know what I mean? Like, not even he's saying like, I hope people die, and he says some outlandish ass shit.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know, bro. It's mind blowing to me, man. And again, like, think about the least worry would be if everybody here had universal health care, right? Because right now you have, like I said, you have 72 million people that are underinsured or have no health insurance. Dude, that can quickly spread if they can't afford to see the doctor, because that's
a real conversation. Exactly. It's just like the parents that choose not to vaccinate their kids. It's not about their kids. It's putting the rest of the population in danger. So the same with insurance. If you don't have proper insurance or no insurance at all, are hospitals going to deny people the ability to get treatment? Or is that the time we make the exception? Which should also open people's eyes to the fact that maybe we all need to have access to healthcare in that way, instead of waiting for a possible pandemic to break out.
Screen went crazy again. I don't know what's
going
on over there. I don't know.
Gotta love it.
I have satellite internet and you have gig internet and you can't figure it out. What the fuck is it?
I told you that my internet company is messing with my
they're fucking maybe they know that we're talking to progressive and liberal and they're trying to shut us down, man. That's the only thing I can think of. But dude, look, like I said, like it doesn't make sense to me how you could argue against the stuff we've talked about ad nauseum the last 3 or 4 podcasts. Like I know, and it seems like we're talking about the same thing, but it's such a simple thing to understand. But for some reason, for so many people, it's such a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird, bro. No, still funky.
Yeah, I know.
Still completely. It's really creepy. It's like looking into the abyss.
It is weird. I contracted the coronavirus.
I think you might have got that. You're not coming to my house now. I've rescinded my offer, bro. Just that. There we go. Yeah. I'm that petty, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how long I've known you. You got the Corona, that Heineken, that Dos Equis. You better stay the fuck away from me, man.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You add yourself to the team because I don't see you.
You see me. Yeah. It just takes a minute.
Okay, cool. But yeah, dude. So back to the whole conversation you were having with your friends, man. We got a little sidetracked there, as we always do.
No, I mean, like my goal was to kind of shut down that conversation, or if they actually wanted to have, because they don't have a political or ideological discussion, right? It's really like a pep rally.
Yeah.
Really? It's a pep rally. And I'm serious. I go there and I enjoy the wine, and I talk to other people. I talk to the people, and we talk even within the group. But then when they get going to a couple guys will start talking beside me about something, or then another guy will reach out to the table next to us and start talking about it. And they all are Trump supporters. Like one of them will come by. This old lady. It's the second week in a row. She's like, "Oh, my Trumpsters." I was like, "Oh my god, this fucking lady."
Oh,
and so
you're a fucking Trumpster.
Huh?
You're a fucking Trumpster.
Yeah, they know I'm not. And so so when they brought up that thing about coronavirus and they're trying to blame it on the president and this, that, the other, and then that's how we're going to treat it, or they asked me, like, I asked the question, how what are we going to do about it? I said, you know what, I'm not even that worried, because at some point it's going to affect us. It's when, not if. It's a question of when. So I got free health insurance. I was like, I'm good, I'm covered. And they just looked at me all crazy. But we'll see. And they're old, right? They're 60s and up, so their health insurance isn't cheap. If they have health insurance, and they're paying an arm and a leg for it. And so I was like, you know what, you guys, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. So I'm just going to say something. I'm going to drop the mic, and they moved on to something else. I was like, I'm going to continue sipping on my wine.
And your screen's gone crazy again on the live feed.
God, this is wonderful.
Pero que pinga está pasando, bro. That's insane.
Coño, no sé, brother, no sé.
No, esto es una locura, loco. Esto es una locura. Esto es lo que está pasando. There it is. All right, you're back. Yeah, I know. And I know we've been talking about this. It feels like almost every podcast we talk about this, right? Like, but it shows you how big of a deal it can be in these situations, right? Like the fact that people can't get treated, and you have people all over the world that can't get treated, right? Like they live in very poor areas. They don't have doctors close, whatever. It could be like the outbreak monkey, whatever. But dude, it's like I don't understand how you can argue against it anymore. Like it's strange to me. Like it's not even like I don't know why it's so personalized. Like, oh, they're trying to do everything. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck about your president, about our president, bro. Like I don't. I expect him when shit like this happens for him to man the fuck up and not take it like he's being attacked. Hey, bro, it's not about you. None of this is about you. Coronavirus wasn't created to stop you, man. Like,
no, but this reminds me of the run up to the 2016 election, right? I would sit at the table with mostly one specifically. She was a bleeding heart liberal, right? She just reminds me of that meme of the girl that sat down and cried, crossed her legs and crying when Trump got elected. So this lady is along that same type of individual. But I was at the table with mostly, I'd say, left-leaning people, but I wouldn't discuss politics because it's the same thing. They would just discuss, like this was at work when I first started working where I'm at and during lunch. And I would kind of just avoid it. There were a couple people that they didn't get to discuss politics, so we would just sit at the same table but not really pay attention to this group. That's also the same woman that when Trump got elected, I came in the next day and we were all having lunch and I was like, all right, our guy got elected, give me some. And she lost her mind. And and then some guy sitting next to her was like, well, she looked like she was kind of upset. And so I was like, our guy got elected. I'm just trying to make light of a situation because none of us were Trump supporters. But you can react the way she did and think it's the end of the world, or just move on with your life because we're in the Matrix. Come on, like this APOC. Come on, someone's gonna cut the hard line on your ass, and they're gonna pull the plug. Yeah. And so the dude next to her was like, "Oh, that wasn't right." I was like, "What wasn't right?" That I made a joke. Because we're obviously not in support of this guy that just got elected, but I'm the bad guy. I was like, all right, go on with yourself. I was like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. It really
I was like, that's where you guys...
I'll say like this. Like, that's really where a lot of people, like the overreaction army that happened after that was the most annoying thing, right?
It was.
But it was weird because, like, the weird thing was, like, all right, people, you give it... Like, I was part of that branch for a little bit, right? Like, being 100% real, like, but then I was like, then I just became a troll about it because, like, I just like we're like, it was like everything he did was wrong, But then one side I was like, yeah, he's a fucking moron. He's the dumbest person I've ever heard speak in my life. But I believe everything he says. You know what I mean? Like it was this irrational belief on that side where I'm like, all right, man, like it's impossible for it to be both, right? Like it's somewhere in the middle. So and that took time just because, but what annoyed me wasn't him winning. Was like the sore winners that like acted, you know what I mean? Like their team just won the championship. You know what I mean? Like that was weird. I was like, yo, like son, like we get it, man. Like it was I was like, I called this shit back in July when they were both the nominees, or July 2016. I was like, yo, Hillary's gonna lose because she has zero energy. There's no like she has no clear vision of why she wants to run. And he, whatever his reason is, it's clear to a big group of people. It's gonna be, and I told my wife, I was like, it was gonna be a landslide. It's not gonna be close, man. Like people who are passionate about this movement, and they're gonna roll with that shit.
Yeah.
And people,
well, I mean, it was the same when Obama got elected, right? The change movement, and he got the entire group of people behind him. And I believe it's the same with Bernie. Whatever the Democrats are trying to do, trying to steal the nomination from him, because I've read it. They want to unite against Bernie. They want to find a candidate to unite instead of saying, and that's why we talk about politics now, but I don't really delve too much, because what are we doing here? It's not about what's best, even though this is how they look at it, and I get it, because this is the game that's played. But it shouldn't be about what's best for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. It's what's best for the country. And I think some of his ideas, we've already talked about it. We know how we feel about that. But the fact that this party, his party, is uniting to sabotage his run is incredible to me. Oh, so you guys you see that he's winning these primaries. You see that the people want and want what he's talking about, but you don't, because you don't care about what the people want. You care about what your party wants and how it's going to affect the people in your party down the line for election. So you don't care about the people that they represent. You just care about those people that are in office. Gotcha. That's why it's just pointless for me.
Yeah, dude, it's like I don't mind these conversations, because I always like we don't talk, we don't delve into like the minutia of it, right? Like we talk like overall shit and like whatever. But like there was a guy, and we could move on from this after this. Like there was a guy on MSNBC, like he's supposed to be a super delegate, right? I think his name's like Anton Gunn or some shit. He said it on television. He's like, listen, the people, basically, I'm paraphrasing, the people don't know what they want. We tell them what they want. And it's like nobody's assigned to those delegates. Like basically, like yo, we're gonna take it from. Like I don't, again, because it challenges. But that's and here you go. Look, I'll give credit to the Republicans. Republicans don't have super delegates. The winner's the winner, right? There's no question. There's no debate. This person won most states. Trump won the states. He gets it. The Democrats are just as motherfucking corrupt. The Democratic establishment, but not the Democratic people. Or the Democratic establishment is more corrupt and more, bro. Like they're a team that's lost over 1,000 seats in a 10-year period. They're a team that couldn't figure out that the movement in 2016 was behind Bernie and refused to acknowledge it.
And they continue
like now Hillary's the person, and they continue to do so. Like the party that they've described, that they say like, oh, we want black people, we want brown people, we want everybody that isn't old and white, right? Like that's the slogan they basically say, right? And now you have that clearly behind one candidate. And you're like, no, but not that kind. We don't want people that's gonna like try to change the system. We want somebody who has those brown and black and yellow and you know what I mean, and all these people, but not a party not somebody who wants to change the system, wants to like tax billionaires because they need to be protected at all costs. Like it's just like I got into an argument. I think we talked about it before. I got into an argument on not argument, like a conversation on Saturday. On Friday, I was at work, and they were like, "Oh, but socialism isn't going to work." I was like, "What do you think the military defense spending is? What do you like? Who pay? Like, let me ask you." And it's no, like to shut down people with these arguments is very quick. 2 sentences, 3 sentences max, right? Like it doesn't take much. I was like, military defense spending. We paid an average the last 20 years $440 billion each year over the last 20 years, right? So and every year it's gone up.
And it keeps climbing. I think it was like 700 billion this year.
No, 878 actually.
Oof,
878 billion for 1 year, right? So again, we know as military people, you're getting the crumbs of it. You're gonna have to fight. You know what I mean? Like my brother has worse health insurance now than what I did. Whatever. I was like, who pays that, man? I was like, well, we get a loan. I was like, who do we get a loan from? From China. I was like, then we're not the most powerful country on the planet, right? If we're borrowing $878 billion this past year from China, then if they're the bank, then don't they own us?
Then they own our debt,
right? You know what I mean? They own all our debt. I was like, and by the way, who pays all that? Like, who pays that money back? Was that? It can't be the rich, right? Because the rich has loopholes to get out of paying any kind of taxes or any kind of decent taxes. So who does that fall on? The middle class, right?
Right.
So what are we talking about here? But it was like, oh no, but that's not how. What do you mean? But that's not how it works. If the rich has loopholes in accountants and finances and financiers to get out of paying taxes, and they have the most money to pay towards taxes, me that makes X, you know what I mean, 75 a year, right? And that gets taxed, and not counting my health insurance tax and all that shit. Like, how do you take that much money? Like, you can't make up that difference. Like, there's you don't get that kind of money back. I was like, dude, I was like, look, and I was like, look, man, whatever. I'm not gonna say his profession. Look, man, like it's all right, bro. It's okay to say I don't know, because he was talking about like, the whole socialism in Venezuela, same shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like you don't know what you're talking. Like, again, it's just pep rally talking points. That's it. Like, right, you just scratch a little bit of the surface, and there's nothing there, bro. There's nothing there.
No, it's true, and that's why I say nothing when they start going, and then they tell me, what do you think about this? I'm like, I don't watch the news, man. I'm just here to have a beer. That's really what I do to avoid it. Yeah. And then one guy will be like, oh, I'm trying to bring him over from the dark side. And I was like, yeah, no, sorry, Luke. I'm staying here. But when they mentioned that thing about the coronavirus, I was like, you know what? This is what's going to happen. You're old. You're
going to die.
You're going to die if you don't have health insurance, or you're going to pay an arm and a leg. And maybe I'll die an ironic death, and I'll be the one that gets, and I don't make it to Florida. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Yeah. But I was like, I don't want to give them the same answer, because I'm just enjoying this wine. Let me just give you a little bit of insight of what's. It was a short sentence, and then they didn't want to continue the conversation. They just kind of shifted it another way. It's like, I got free health insurance. I'm not worried, because that's what it came down to. It's like all this stuff was going through my mind. I was like, you know what? Just one sentence. I'm good. I got health insurance. I'm covered.
And you move on, bro.
My screen's going crazy again.
Jesus Christ, what is going on over there with your shit, bro?
I don't know, man.
Hey, man, you gotta, dude. Like, if I get that you're having some gig issues, but even if you're getting 500 megabytes, you shouldn't be having these kind of fucking upload issues, bro. That's insane, man. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Whatever. It's exhausting. Like, Super Tuesday's coming up. It is what it is. Yeah. What was I gonna tell you? But I heard your voice message earlier. You fuck, mocking me for the fact that I had to drive an hour to go get some curry. Right now, sir, listen. What you have to understand is it's a Buddhist temple, right? And it's first come, first serve. And yes, I could go to restaurants that have curry or pad thai and all that stuff and have some sushi. Given, but this is a cool place because it's scenery. It's getting out of the fucking house. It's kind of like your beer and briskets or whatever the fuck is, whatever it is that you use, beer and Triscuits,
flights and bites,
whatever it is you. Well, whatever I like beer and briskets is what I'm gonna go with. A little Triscuit with fucking cheese whip on it. You know what I mean?
Yes, some cheese.
It's cool, bro. Like I said, you get like fucking. I got like pumpkin curry, pork Penang. I got fried rice, white rice. I got like they make empanadas, so it's like a mixture of shit. Obviously, their empanadas are a little bit different, right? But it's like all these like little kitchens. It's almost like a market, right? But it's all Asian food. They made like fried bananas. We didn't get any of those because the line was too long. Made like fried bananas and fried sweet potatoes, which I've never heard of or had. So yeah, man, it's a cool little place, man. I would pronounce the name of that fucking of the Buddhist temple, but there's no way I could do it. It's like what, and then like 17 letters. So I'm out. I'm out. Like I'm not even gonna try it. So yeah, man, it's a good time though, man. Yeah, it's an early drive though. Like we were out of the house by like 8:15. Because if you get there, like they start serving food around 8:30. We got there like 9:45. And it wasn't that bad. By the time we were leaving, it was like 11. Dude, it was jam packed. Like you couldn't walk. You couldn't walk around that shit. And when they run out of food, they are out of food.
They're done.
That's it. They're done. Like, hey, sorry guys, we're closed. And it's all cash. It's fucking great, bro. I love that place. Okay. We go there like once every 2 or 3 months, and then we go to IKEA. Just like, yeah, IKEA's like 9 minutes away, so she always finds a reason to go.
I've walked through IKEA once before, I think. Mel and I went once before, maybe twice. God, this is too much.
It's so.
I don't know how many floors that place has. Like you walk in and there's the arrows, and they walk you through the entire little.
Yeah, and everything's like, and like they tell you like what you could do in like a certain amount of square feet. They're really good. Like a lot of our furniture's from there because their storage shit is really good. Now the furniture's good. Like if you're never leaving your house. But like, if you have to move, fuck, you're better off just throwing that furniture away. And
because it's particle board or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's basically particle board, bro. It doesn't really benefit anything else. Like, it's not gonna last in a move. Like, we lost a bunch of furniture. You know what I mean? Like we had to like screw it into the wall and like put it together. Because I'm the one that had to put it back together and shit like that. It was exhausting, bro. It's never quite as firm again.
How is it? How's the quality? Like, not accounting for a move, when you just buy it in place, how's the quality?
Really good.
Yeah,
quality is really good. Yeah, it's the instructions are universal, so there's no words. It's just like this little fat dude like telling you what to do. Honestly, dude, like it's all pictures.
So they just had like a white Benjamin, and then they just put him on there.
That's what. First of all, he's bald. All right, that's disrespectful. So he's more like close. He's more like an Eric. You know what I mean? He's more like an Eric. But Eric's bald. Right? He shaves his head. We won't say a last name because he knows who he is. But yeah, man, it's not bad, dude. Like it's decent. Like our dressers are IKEA. Mm-hmm. Most of the stuff in my living room is IKEA. Like not the couches and stuff. Their couches and all that shit is very uncomfortable. Which speaking of, I was looking at getting a different chair because I like this chair, like because of how it looks and shit. But I don't like that I can't roll and I can't lean. So it's like a very stiff chair. Like I can't rock with it. You know what I mean? I want to like be able to move around in my chair. So I'm gonna have to look for a different chair. And obviously, when you get down here, we're gonna have to do like 6 or 7 podcasts and like just bank them bitches. Because it'll be the only time we'll ever be able to do it in person, unless I come up there. Which, with the coronavirus, I don't even know if driving is going to be a thing.
Yeah. They had a case in Chicago. They had a couple cases.
Yeah.
So
you got a case.
Not too far.
Allegedly have a case in Miami. Mm-hmm. One of my friends was telling me that at the main Baptist on like 88, I think that is. Mm-hmm. So they're saying they're trying to like hide them. Like, dude, it's weird. Like, I don't know. Like across the world, it just doesn't make sense. So like, there's no clear indication of how it's transmitted. I was looking into it. It was like if you're within 6 feet of that person. So it seems like it's droplets, which is like a cough or a sneeze. Well, dude, within 6 feet in China is basically every fucking person.
Everybody, because they live like a can of sardines.
Yeah. So their numbers are skewed, bro. Like, there's no way it's only like 2,800 deaths. There's no reaction like this to 2,800. That's a shooting weekend here in the States. You know what I mean? That's not that big of a thing.
That's a drop in the bucket for them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
crazy to think that we're talking about human lives like that, but
yeah, but what the fuck? Like, we're talking about it, but we're not the ones in charge. That's how they're dealing with it. You know what I mean? Like, we're just two assholes on the internet talking shit. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not motherfuckers. Like, it'd be worse other than Mike Pence if fucking Trump picked us behind them. Like, I clearly have no idea what the fuck to do in these situations. But this
yeah,
guy,
let's
don't
get some
believe
scientists that know what the hell they're doing, though, and put them on the front and lead those teams. Doesn't that make sense?
Exactly.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, makes all the fucking sense in the world. Oh, I need security. I'm gonna get some cops or fucking Secret Service people. If I need some health issues, I'm gonna get some motherfucking doctors in this shit. But bro, listen, he went like I think the acting director of Health and Human Services was talking to a committee. Did you see that shit? Where he said, "Oh, I need $2.5 billion to start, you know what I mean, the process for the private sector." Hint, hint. That's socialism. You know what I mean, for the private sector. But I can't promise what they'll set the price at for the They were talking about the vaccines.
I can't promise what those prices are.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Are you something like that? To no end, they want profit, bro. To no fucking end.
Yeah,
it's so insane, man. Like this isn't red or blue. It's
at this very moment, someone's defending it, though.
Yeah, at this very moment, somebody's like, "Oh, you fucking liberal."
Do you expect them to work for free? Of course, those vaccines are going to cost money.
Of course,
and so forth. Yeah, defending some pharmaceutical company that makes hundreds of billions of dollars. But and then they put in the money for the R&D. Of course, they have to get compensated. Yes, I'm willing to pay $1,500 for the vaccine.
Yeah. No, but they don't put the R&D money in. We do, don't we?
Of course we do. But that's what you'll hear.
Fucking asshole. Yeah, people don't even know. People are wondering what the fuck R&D is right now, and I'm not even gonna break down that acronym for them. So fuck them. Figure it out, bitch. It doesn't. What's up?
It doesn't. So I'd rather speak about something else. Javi and Mel did too. I'm not sure if she wanted to watch it, but she just did. I just showed them two of my all-time favorite movies. One of them was you can guess which one it was, right? As my references earlier today.
Oh, no? You watched The Matrix.
We watched The Matrix last night. Yeah.
Right, you didn't put them through that torture. Please don't tell me you put them through that torture.
No, we just saw the first one. We'll watch the Animatrix, which I even haven't seen, and that gives a lot of the backstory and a lot of the details that's missing from the other movies. So we'll watch that together as well. But we saw The Matrix last night, and we saw Inception earlier today before coming on the show.
Nice.
I'm like, you know what? I'm about to blow your mind. And I say, he's what? I was like, yeah, we're gonna watch he's been wanting to watch The Matrix, and then Inception as well. And the whole time he's like, what is going on right now? This thing is killing me. I'll blame it on you. Is your slow internet seeping into mine? Are you time traveling right now? Affecting my future internet?
That's not how this works at all. That's not how the...
All right. Well, I'm going to send it to live and see if that changes things a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either. But I was vibrating kind of crazy right there. That's freaky.
That was really weird, bro. It looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like the graphic that I created from InShot on a...
Man, it's still bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right, I'm gonna delete my camera. My audio will stay on.
But yeah, I guess we'll just go audio live.
Yeah, I mean, you should still be able to hear it, and then I'll bring the camera in again.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, as long as we can keep talking.
Yeah.
But all right. So what did Javi think about The Matrix? It's over. It's mind blowing, right? And it's also kind of makes it feel like it's a documentary. Like it's weird,
right? But what's crazy is that watching those, just the action, which you can tell there's been a change over the last 21 years, but it hasn't aged that badly. I thought going back to watch that movie, I thought it would be really, really corny in some areas you can kind of see, but they revolutionized the way that action movies are filmed and the way that type of action is captured, and it really hasn't aged that bad. It's still, it doesn't hurt the eyes to watch. Like when you go back and watch something from the 80s or 90s and you see the terrible effects that they were using. That movie was made in '99. Still awesome.
Dude, we were trying. We like I was surfing through Disney Plus, and I hadn't seen like older movies in a long time, like Aladdin. You know what I mean? And I was surfing through them,
Mhm.
so I was like, "Oh, let me see, it. Dude." I clicked on oh, Melanie goes, "Oh, try Little Mermaid." All right, whatever. Clicked it, dude.
Yep.
The graphics were so bad, and it happened. I tried to watch like The Sword in the Stone, which, by the way, Sword in the Stone was made like 56 years ago or some shit. Oh my
Jesus.
god, dude, it was so hard. Like you could see like almost the stitching of the camera work. Like, I'm not watching this shit, bro. Like, I'm so spoiled. Like, I watched Toy Story 4, and I was like, this is the fucking masterpiece. And then you
You're used to
watch,
watching that.
yeah, and then you watch this shit. I was like, I couldn't even go back to watch like like one of my favorite cartoons, movies wise, is Incredibles, right? And even going back to watching that one is rough because it is not hold up, bro. Like, I remember
You
that
don't think
movie
so?
being so much. No, I remember that movie being so much better. And go back and watch that. That shit is not as good. No way at all whatsoever, motherfucking ever, bro. It's so weird because I checked, just rambling. I checked our YouTube channel to like see how the stream was working, and it says live, but on my live stream it says not. So
Well, that's
fine.
a thing. That's how it looks like on mine when you were the one hosting it. And there goes my screen. Oh, I came back. That's how it looks on my screen when you're the host. It says not live, but
No,
on
this
the
one
YouTube.
says offline. Weird.
Yeah, that's what mine will say. Something crazy like that offline after you send it to live. I don't know why it does that, but as the host, I can tell that I sent it to live.
Okay.
And on YouTube, it's live. So
hey man,
yeah.
I think we could just keep talking about it now. Like, who gives a fuck? Dude, what are we gonna do about the Apple issue, bro? Like, are we gonna because I was looking at SoundCloud and it's not working the way, you know what I mean? There's no way to like change the RSS feed without opening a new account. Then I'd have to like resubmit it all to like all the other ones, which is fine because I actually looked. I have basically all the episodes saved on my hard drive, but we also realized that I have internet from the 1900s, so it would take forever to upload all, and you can't. You have to upload each individually. So I don't know.
Well, if you want to wait till I get down there, I'll just take a thumb drive or a portable hard drive, and we'll just put them all on that, and then I'll upload the episodes.
Yeah, I think we're
And it
gonna.
might just take
I
a few
think the
weeks.
only ones I was missing for some reason, like I put them all in order. The only ones I was missing were like the ones in the episodes in the 20s for some reason, which is I don't understand why. Maybe the way I recorded them at that time, which isn't a big deal. But yeah, man, like I want to make sure we're everywhere, but at the same time, like, do I want to go through the hassle of doing all that stuff when I could just put in like my Spotify link or, you know what I mean, like where I'm everywhere, like Stitcher link, and because I'm literally everywhere else. Like, there's no other. And what's like I told you, like, what's weird is like I show up on iTunes if you were subscribed to me before, but not if after, right? Like if you send somebody that same link that works for you doesn't work for somebody else. So I don't know. It's frustrating, dude. Like, it's frustrating. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple options. You can try to go through SoundCloud and have them, because you can't do it. They gave you an RSS feed link, and that's what it is. There's no button to refresh it, so they would have to do something on their back end and try that, and then try to validate it in Apple and see if that changes something.
Well, like I told you, the weird, it's weird because like I submit it and it says valid, but then the email I get back from Apple is my Anchor shit. Like I've showed you. It's just it doesn't make sense why it only happens with Apple Podcasts. Like again, like this isn't nobody else's fault but my own. Before I switched over to Anchor, I should have read more into it. I was like, oh shit, this is free as opposed to paying, and then I moved off from that. Hey man, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I mean, that's those are the options. Apple has a community, right? But I can't find any support, like actual support team. Tech support
there's no
team.
number to call.
There's nothing.
There's no number to call at all.
It's crazy.
Terrible customer service, bro.
Yeah.
Terrible customer service.
And they're supposed to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, podcasting platform. That's where everyone wants to be. If your podcast gets like your art, your everything gets accepted, for Apple Podcasts, then it's good to go for everything else. They're the standard bearer,
Yep.
and there's no. Maybe we're not clicking the right links. Maybe I need to go back and look. But you just see communities like forums. That's it.
I submitted a question to a community. I want to say on Friday, and I'm waiting to get a response back. But it doesn't. I don't, because again, like when I did that switch, I did it for all other stuff, right? But like once I deleted it and I spoke with Anchor and actually emailed and actually spoke to a person with Anchor, like I said, I don't know, look, you're good, but Apple Podcast is the only one that I've had the issue with, bro, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make fucking sense. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Oh, well, bro, I was gonna ask you, how are your dogs doing with cooking them food, bro? Because I'm actually gonna get ready to make prep actual meals for my dog, just because he's a pit bull, and he's had, I think I told you, he's had a lot of like allergy issues and shit like that. So we're gonna try and see if it's like something that he's eating. So we're gonna make like meatballs and shit. Like it's gonna be like 7 pounds of beef, and so like the recipe calls for like 10 eggs, and then mixed vegetables with brown rice. So we're just gonna make that up, and then like make it into like little balls, and then bake it, and then give it to them throughout the week or whatever. How are your dogs doing with cooking their meals?
I mean, they're doing fine. They're not reacting. They're actually looking forward to eating more.
Right.
I've definitely noticed that. And who wouldn't? They're not eating kibble and / wet dog food anymore. They're eating actual food. I know that we talked to the vet about it, and they say they recommended a couple of different websites to make sure that your dog's getting all the nutrition that they should, because a lot of homemade dog food doesn't provide nutrition. Like they're supposed to have X amount of, potassium, calcium, other vitamins that's baked into the kibble. Having said that, I mean, you can look at the food that you're providing yourself, whether it's peas, carrots, whatever else you're putting in your dog's food,
right?
And it tells you the kind of nutrition that's in there. I would still talk to a vet just to make sure that you're doing it right, especially for a really big dog like that. So yeah, the feeding for that dog has got to be different than these two. I have a 15 and a 10 pounder. One of them's over here behind me. You can't see him; he's off camera. But to make sure that he's getting all that nutrition, I know one of the things that's recommended is to put eggshells in their food, like ground up the eggshells, and they get the calcium that they need from that. But if you're giving them eggs also, like they're going to get the protein and the fat that they need from eggs, along with the vegetables. It's just, you want to make sure that he's not malnourished. I don't think unless he's got a really bad digestive issues, that he'll react badly, but that's, your vet and your dog better than I would. And I know that for a lot of dogs that have digestive issues, they recommend like rice and chicken anyway, as opposed to, to giving them dry dog food. A lot of times that's what our vet has said, give them eggs or rice or chicken, like ground lean chicken, to help with their digestion. So we just added the vegetables in there. So we'll see. Right now they're doing fine. They're liking their food. We still have kibbles. We by less kibbles. It's probably half and half, or maybe I'd say 60-40. It's the food that we made to kibble ratio. Just to make sure that they're getting that nutrition that they're supposed to get, which, I looked at the bag and I look at the ingredients we listed, and it's got all those vitamins that you're supposed to have. It's almost
I'm gonna
crazy
get ready.
to me.
Go ahead.
Like I understand like vets' concern, but it's almost, to me, I look at it, it's almost like the same relationship that doctors have with pharmaceutical companies and certain pharmaceutical reps, where like they recommend this medication over another. The same as I can say for vets that say, well, you should be feeding your dogs this food or that food, or we don't recommend homemade food. So, just be cautious with a big dog.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because anytime you ever walk into a vet, like they always have their bagged food in there. You know what I mean? Like, and that they charge at like some markup price, and they get X amount of kickback back from them.
Right.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I've always been wary of that. Same thing with the doctors. It's just Are they looking out for the best interest because that's what they're supposed to be doing, or is there again a business interest because they're getting a commission or a check from these representatives? The more amount that they tell of a specific brand, and that helps them stay in practice and off kind of deal with other expenses that they have. So it's crazy, but that's how I always look at things. When someone's recommends anything, you could be a doctor or a vet, and I'm just thinking, well, why are you? What's in your best interest? Are you really looking out for my best interest, or is it something that's kind of affecting your bottom line first, and then I come second? That's how cynical I am.
No, Brendan Schaub calls it, and I don't know if he got it, if he made it up or what, but I call it like skeptical hippo eyes. Like, wait, there's something going. Like, there's a meme. There's a meme where like a hippo's coming out of the water, and it looks like he's skeptical. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I am. Like, there's a reason why you're giving me this bullshit.
Right.
Let me make sure you don't have a financial influence and why you think the way you think. So get the fuck out of here. But yeah, man, I'm actually looking forward to it. See how he reacts to it, because like I told you, he's a pit bull, and it's weird because he's like allergic to chicken, or maybe there was something else in the chicken meal that was in there,
right,
or what. So we're trying to control, like, he's had a lot of rashes and shit like that. So we're trying to control what's going on with him and see how that all works. So yeah, dude. But hey, any update on the Clásico, bro? Because I got 0-0 still.
No, I turned it off because if my video was looking the way that it was, we would have been.
True. That's true.
Yeah, it would have been terrible trying to play both of them at the same time. I got 0-0 as well. Yeah, at the 60-minute mark.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a last-minute goal by Messi, which is, I mean, they have the better player, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's a group of 21 solid players, but they have the card, and Real Madrid doesn't have that card anymore.
They also have the better team, but they're dealing with a lot of injuries.
No. Listen, I'll tell you some real shit though. So I saw both games, right? Like, Barcelona played the week before, and I saw Real Madrid. Real Madrid lost to Man City. Yeah. Man City's the better team. Real Madrid and Barcelona, if they were in the EPL, they'd be struggling to be in the top four. Like, realistically,
I agree. I've seen, I see the talent on those.
You know what I mean? And that's like, I've seen both teams now. Like, I watched them enough to know they would not be fighting with Liverpool they'd be struggling to be in the top four, because those, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be third or fourth, maybe fourth, fifth. Like, they're not better than Man City.
Right.
I think. I mean, I don't know. They might be better than Chelsea. You know what I mean? But like, Chelsea away, at home is very different than Chelsea away. So it'd be tough for them for me to say these two teams as currently constructed would not be in the top, would maybe be fifth, like fourth, fifth, in my opinion. And I put Barcelona in fourth simply because of Messi. That's it. Like, I don't think they have I think they've both done a terrible job of flipping the roster over or picking the right young players to transition. Like, Busquets is old as fuck.
Yeah.
With Real Madrid, Casemiro's old as fuck. Sergio Ramos is old as fuck. You know what I mean? The guy who's Mr. Shakira. What's his name?
PK.
Yeah, he's old as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have all these old players. Like, they've just done a poor job.
That's funny. Because before you would have been like, oh, it's RPK, and now it's like, what's that dude's name? Mr. Shakira?
Yeah, Mr. Shakira, bro. Fuck that guy. I hate that guy. That's one player I dislike. I don't like that. Well, no, Luis Suarez is the reason why I can't root for Barcelona, even though he's not playing because he's hurt. I can't stand that guy. I don't like that guy, bro. I do not like that guy.
He's got giant teeth.
He's got the biggest teeth on the planet. Him and Tony Robbins battle every year for teeth supremacy.
Oh man, but Tony Robbins doesn't do anything. I mean, Ramos is out there biting people.
Yeah, Ramos is a monster. Suarez is a monster. Ramos has 43 red cards, bro. How fucking crazy is that? 20 and 26. I think 26 in the Champions League alone. Like, he's been kicked out of 20.
Right? I mean, it's not just Suarez. Barcelona's got a ton of injuries.
That's bad planning, right? Like, if you're Barcelona, you should have second and third stringers to be killers too. Like you can't be, you know what I mean? You can't be that. What the Blaugrana or whatever it is. Like they can't be fucking that shit up, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. He's 32. He'll be 33 this year, but he's been playing since he was 17. Oh, I'm gonna murder this.
Your dog just went fucking crazy. That's how you know it's live, bro. We're gonna keep that shit in.
All right, I
see him now.
I hear everything.
I see your crazy ass dog. Yeah, but 32, 33, bro. Like in soccer, that's only older. He hasn't been supported by any players. Griezmann can't handle the pressure of playing next to Messi, just like Philippe Coutinho couldn't kind of handle that pressure. Like it takes a lot, man. Like look, you got Luka Jovic for Real Madrid, supposed to be a great striker, can't even get on the pitch with Real Madrid. So that's why Benzema's the number one guy. You know what I mean? Benzema should be a spot guy that you have. You know what I mean? Because your young strikers are a killer. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, bro. But I'm not.
Bring in on like the 65th minute or something.
Yeah, like when you need like an extra header and you're up 2-1, a game to close it out. Like it's not the guy you have that you rely everything on. Gareth Bale can't stay healthy. Nah, dude, it's too much. It's frustrating, man.
I never liked that dude either. I think just his name, Gareth Bale. That's where it stopped.
I've never liked him either. Like I use him in FIFA because he's an on resume player, right? Like on paper he's fucking great, but on the pitch he's gonna get hurt. You know what I mean? He'll get hurt in practice and he'll miss a whole bunch of time, and then you won't see him for like 4 or 5 months. He'll tear an ankle ligament and be gone the entire season when he got hurt in September. You know what I mean? Like Real Madrid has some injuries too, though. Like they lost Marco Asensio. They've sold out some players. Like they have a whole loan army that they could call back, and hopefully they signed that kid from Borussia Dortmund, Erling Haaland. That's a monster. But we'll see, bro. I don't know. Like it's kind of crazy. We're doing this shit during a Clásico. And
we're not watching it.
Okay, we're not watching it.
I don't know. I think part of it has to do with
Ronaldo. It's not the same without Ronaldo. It's not, bro. Like it was fucking LeBron and Kobe. You know what I mean? It was Jordan against the Knicks. Like it was must see TV. Now it's just like an accumulation of players that might be okay, but are also old. You know what I mean? Like they've all aged together. So that's what it's a bunch of guys that
haven't done a good job of kind of getting ready to turn over to the next chapter. Messi's the one that's all together. I hate to agree with you, but you're right. At least on the Barcelona side.
I know the Real Madrid side too, bro. Like the fact that Ramos has to play every game for 90 minutes. Like Ramos is old as fuck. Like Ramos isn't a young kid. He can't catch up. That's why most of his fouls in the red card are because he's putting a guy down that ran by him. You know what I mean? Denying a goal scoring opportunity. He's not like he's not going in there with the cleats because he saw it and reacted. It's because he's too slow to react now.
Yeah, so
they don't have a guy behind him.
Yeah, so that's how he reacts.
Yeah, so he's like, all he has left is like catch up barely and pull you down and then get kicked out the game. I don't know, bro. Real Madrid has done the same thing. Like I said, like realistically, they're fourth or fifth in the EPL. They I don't know what I don't watch much German league game, but I'm sure they'd struggle. They're because they don't have young talent at a multitude of positions. Like they have Vinicius as a solid left winger, but that's pretty much it. And the midfield, you still have Tony Cruz, a slow ass, which I tried to play FIFA with. Oh my, he's so slow, bro.
I got a question. Whatever happened to that signing of James Rodriguez from Colombia? Like I know he went to Real, and I don't know if he did well, so he went to Bayern, or they sent him off to Bayern. Is he still there?
He's back now. He came back after a 2-year loan. He gets injured all the time, bro. He'll come back. He's injury prone. He should go to the MLS. Honestly,
is it
what I mean? Like,
that bad of a drop off?
It is that bad of a drop off just because he's not a reliable piece to sell to somebody because of all of his injury.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he might be like I could see him going to like a low level team in EPL. You know what I mean? Like like an Everton or you know what I mean, or a team with like history, but that hasn't come back. But as far as Real Madrid, he's too injury prone, and he's just not reliable. You know, but yeah, he's back there, but he doesn't play.
I'm trying. I just looked it up. He did play for Monaco at one point in time. Right before Madrid, and I knew he was playing well in Monaco. And then he played for
the year before. Yeah, he had that Monster World Cup run with Colombia, and then that's when Real Madrid bought him. And he had like a solid 2. I actually saw him play when I went to Madrid.
Yeah,
he was actually on the pitch. Yeah, well, he did. Him and Ronaldo got along very well. They had a good partnership, but then just injuries, bro. Injuries. He couldn't get on the pitch, so that's why they loaned him out to Bayern.
Yeah, man, that shit happens. What can you do? And that'll derail your entire career. It's the way that soccer works. Where I'm just going to loan you out to another team, and
hopefully
I thought he was doing well in Bayern too. I caught a couple. I had the Fox Soccer or Fox Sports or whatever, $20 a month plan to watch. Most of it was like German league, and I think La Liga. No, La Liga wasn't with Fox, but it was German league and Italian league, and he was playing all right, but I kind of stopped keeping up with it.
Yeah. He had a lot of promise, but injuries are a monster in soccer, bro.
I know, man.
Absolute monster. So I don't know what the fuck's gonna
happen. That's required. You're out for 4 months, 5 months with torn ligaments, and players are out there running 10 kilometers a game. But to get back to that kind of fitness level is insane.
It's insane, bro. Like that fitness level is the highest in all sports. Like it had, like without a doubt for me. Like that's so disappointing when Eden Hazard came in fat.
Oh my god!
You go again. What the fuck?
Yep.
Ah, damn. Yeah, man. But that's what happens with Eden Hazard, bro. Like he came in fat, and the same shit happened. But it's just fucking weird, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's proud of his dad bod.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be. I don't think he has kids though.
Which is
does he?
Ironic part right now. He probably doesn't.
Which is the worst kind of dad bod. Like you can't have a dad bod. You got no kids. Like if you got a dad bod and you got no kids, you just fat, bro. Like let's just own that shit up right there.
That's how it works.
That's how it motherfucking works.
Let me see if my screen works now.
Yeah, man. I got no alert from Bleacher Report, so I guess it's still 0-0. Usually they let me know right away if it's 1-0 either way.
No, I just got it on, and I still 0-0 in the 71st minute.
By the way, Real Madrid is done. I just want to let you know there's no way Real Madrid comes back on Man City after a 2-1 goal away lead. There's away goal lead. They have to score 3 goals to win. Like that's insane, bro. Like there's no way they do that.
Real hasn't shown that they can score that many goals. I think that's the only reason why Barcelona can, because even though they get scored on, they put up 50 plus goals.
They have 5 goals. Yeah, they don't have anybody but Benzema to really put it away, bro. Like and they're just not clinical in their finishes anymore, man. And it's disheartening to watch because they're like these are one of the biggest and best clubs in the world, and to see them fall apart in a way that that they could barely score.
1-0 Real. Sorry to interrupt. Damn, what just happened? 72nd minute. I just got the refresh.
Yes, bitch.
Damn.
Yes, bitch. Live reaction. Ah, damn.
Bastards.
Yo, man. Right. So you were telling me. Tell me who scored. Who scored?
Was it
Benzema?
Junior? No.
Vinicius?
Vinicius. Sure is.
That's my guy right there, boy. That's my fucking guy. Wow, he scored in the Clásico. That's big for him, bro. He was the best player him and Gabriel Jesus were the best players on the pitch in that Man City game. Till they pulled Vinicius, which they shouldn't have done, because he was the only one making anybody work. So we'll see, bro.
Damn, Barcelona. We'll just need a draw. What is going on? Just need a draw to hold on to this title.
And next, really, they need that draw, because now Real would go. Would Real tie them, or Real will go up 1, right?
Yeah,
Real I think Messi still finds a way to pull a draw, bro. Like, remember, this is what they did in the Man City game. Like, I have no faith in Real Madrid. Like, I have no faith in Real Madrid, bro. I'm gonna be 100. That's my team. I'll roll with them. That's my numero uno. but I have no faith in them to keep a lead at all. I can say it'd be 1-1 and 2-1 by the 80th minute, and Messi with 2 goals. It can get ugly real fast.
It's possible.
You know what sucks is like recording this live and having the live reaction. My hot take in that moment could be totally fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and then you hear it back like, "Yo, I'm not listening to this dumb fuck ever again. He doesn't know what he's talking about."
Yeah, let's get him updating you to see what kind of ridiculous shit you'll say live.
It is pretty outlandish. So you said you were gonna use my. We'll finish it with this last question. You said you were gonna use my boy for any like audio editing and shit like that, right? I do. Like he made that shit, and I told him I'd send him the link. I sent him a text. I was like, bro, like send me the rest of that song because I just want to play it. Like I just want. He's like, nah, actually, he's like, nah, I just made that for you. I'd have to make the rest of the song.
Right.
So like that clip within itself is you know, I mean, completely mine. That's crazy. That shit is fire, son. Like I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah. You know what we're talking
about. Dude, it's
perfect.
Yeah, you'll see it at the beginning, and I might play this shit again before the end of the podcast. But I legit was like driving to Walmart and like kept hitting replay, you know what I mean, on the song to hear it in my car. Legit, bro, like for real. Fuck yeah, that shit's dope. Yeah, man. So in case coronavirus kills me before the next podcast, fuck you and thank you for joining me on the show, brother. That's how I feel like that's a good way to end it, right? Was that wrong? I mean, like I hope your family's fine, but just you.
Just me.
You could be the victim. You could be the victim. And just croaking shit like and the fucking cartoon X's over your eyes.
Okay. Well, I guess on that note, we're gonna kill it. I don't have anything else. I
got dark quick.
Term shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.